Welcome to the Sports Talks 4133 YouTube channel. It's Sunday, so that means it's NFL Sunday. So before we get in my whole NFL talks for today, we'll be breaking down every matchup. We're going to go over what we talked about real quickly last night. Disclaimer, we are going to leave college football. I'm going to give you all my reactions in a separate video, probably dropping tomorrow. So let's talk here. Starting off in the college basketball world, yesterday we talked about the Georgia versus Marquette game, and that was quite a game, as Marquette would turn out to win 80-69, and that they gave Georgia their first loss last night. Marquette improving to 6-0 on the season now. It was a good win for them. I thought they looked really good out there. I thought they looked in rhythm, and this Marquette team is a scary team still, in my opinion. I said it earlier this week when they played Purdue. They're one of the most underrated teams in the league, in my opinion. They really are. They're going to give a lot of teams some trouble this year, in my eyes. So we'll see what it ends up bringing. But yeah, I think this Marquette team got a really nice win. In the hockey world last night, because I'm just giving over these things real quick, because obviously we want to get to the NFL talks here. In hockey last night, the Oilers defeated the Rangers. They got that pick right, 6-2. In a wild night of wild 15 hockey game night yesterday, including a bunch of great hockey games for the Flyers taking down the Chicago Blackhawks 3-2. The Flyers were down 2-0 in that hockey game, came back to win in overtime. Yeah, great night of hockey last night. A lot of crazy endings. The Blue Jackets win again. They've won back-to-back games now as they defeat the Hurricanes at 5-4. In the NBA last night, we talked about the Nuggets and the Lakers. The Nuggets won by 25 last night. Yes, you heard that right. The Nuggets winning by 25 against the Lakers. And yeah, so I'm going to talk about college football more, so tomorrow I'll be breaking down those things. Let's move in now to the NFL side of things today. We've got 11 football games today here. A lot of teams on bye this week, but that cannot stop the fact that we've got football games. Let's start off here with the Panthers and the Chiefs today. The Panthers, 3-7 on the year, will host the 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs coming off, obviously, that loss last week to Buffalo, 30-21. So, is there a chance the Panthers could pull this out today? Do you want the short answer or the long answer? The short answer, no. I don't see a way where the Panthers are going to be able to win this football game today. This Chiefs team is still amazing. They're still elite. They lost one game to the Bills. It's a cycle. They look great. They lose to the Bills during the season. The Bills think they can beat them in the playoffs. The Chiefs beat them in the playoffs. The Bills go home early. That's pretty much the cycle. So the Chiefs are 9-1. How do they get ready to spawn today off of that off that Bills loss last week against the Panthers? Because this Panthers team's now on a 2-game winning streak. This is the hottest they've been this season. They've won the same amount of games the last 2 weeks that they did all of last season. They're coming off of a bye, and then the weeks prior beat the Giants in Germany, and the Saints the week before that. Do the Panthers have a path to do something? I don't think they do. They had Chiefs, Bucks, Eagles, Cowboys, Cardinals, Bucks, and Falcons to wrap up the year. It's just not a friendly schedule to even think about. Maybe, possibly, the Panthers could start to put something together. But yeah, I just think Kansas City is going to dominate this football game today. They're a great team. They know what they're doing, and you're going to have to watch out for them, especially in these type of moments. Because this is another game, though. It's almost like a trap game in a way. It really is. It is almost like a trap game for this Chiefs team. Because, listen. Let me explain here. You're playing the Panthers, then the Raiders, but then you get the Chargers. You actually might be looking at that a little bit too much already. It'll be weird. It's going to be really weird for this Chiefs team also because they play today and then they play again on Friday. It's that Black Friday football game. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, let's move on now to the Vikings and the Bears today. The Vikings, 8-2 on the year. They're going to go to Chicago, I think, on the 4-6 Chicago Bears. This Bears team is awful. I mean, last week had a chance to beat the Packers for the first time, over 10 years? And they didn't do it. The kick got blocked by the Packers. This Bears team has problems, and they need to figure it out. They play a great Vikings team today, and then they play again on Thanksgiving against the Lions. This Bears team is in a position, you have so much talent. Caleb Williams. I believe in Caleb. DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, The defense is pretty solid. And you're 4-6. You've lost 4 games straight. Get it together. This Bears team has the talent. I was talking about this last week. They're going to play the Vikings today. They're a 3-point underdog. This Vikings team, I know they're 8-2. Are they beating every expectation? Sure they are. Sure they are. But do the Vikings necessarily look good in a sense? I mean, I don't think so. In their last 4 games, they played the Rams, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans. Their biggest margin of victory was last week. They won by 10 against the Titans. The week prior, they won by 5 against the Jags, 8 against the Colts, and lost to the Rams. And the previous week, they lost to the Lions. And the previous week was a bye. But before the bye, they looked amazing. Since that bye week, they look off. So this is a battle of 2 teams today that have not been playing up to what they've been playing weeks prior. Because you go back 4 weeks, this might be game of the year. It might be. 4-2 Bears taking on the, they had a chance to do stuff. But the Vikings have not been the same. And you're going to go, dude, they're on a 3-game win streak, which you can't take away. But the 3 wins are against 3 AFC South teams who are all pretty bad, in my opinion. So, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening in that one. Let's move in now to Titans versus Texans today. This game at 1 o'clock on CBS. To be honest, this game might be remember last week I jokingly said Lions by 50? Something is telling me this is going to have that same mentality today. Because this Titans team is terrible. Terrible. And they're going to go and play the 7-4 Houston Texans who are hungry for a win. And you're going to go, dude, they just beat the Cowboys. Yeah, but since prior to that Cowboys game, losses to the Lions and Jets. I need to see a bit more out of this Texans team. Because they have, in the last 5 weeks, they have not played their best football. You got the Titans, you got the Jaguars, you got a bye, and you go Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, Titans. You got to figure it out. I think today the Texans really just come in here, they play their type of football game, and they are going to blow out the Titans. That's my pick. It's an early pick. The Texans are going to blow out the Titans today. This CJ Stroud, this squad on this Texan side, so much talent. Who is the best player on the Titans on offense? Skill position-wise. Is it Tony Pollard? I guess. The Titans don't have talent. And they're going to match up in a really poor scenario today against this Texans team. Let's move on now to Lions taking on the Colts today at 1 o'clock on Fox. The 9-1 Lions are traveling to the 5-6 Indianapolis Colts. So, I think we could say the Lions are the best team in the NFL. We can all agree on that. That's a thing in the NFL we can all agree on. They are the number 1 team in the NFL right now, especially with the Chiefs losing. This Lions team looks amazing this year. It historically amazing. This team put up 52 points last week against the Titans. Against the Jaguars. Yeah, put up 52 against the Titans. They also put up 52 against the Titans a few weeks ago. This Lions offense is amazing. But then I look at it and I go, how are they doing it? Because there are other teams in the NFL that might have better offenses if you go play by player. Like, for example, actually, and I know I'm going to sound biased, the Philadelphia Eagles. Who would you take, Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff? It's a toss-up. I would probably lean towards Jalen just a bit. Saquon or Gibbs/Montgomery. You're going to go Saquon. AJ or Monroe. You're going to go AJ. You just look at the positions and go, what are the Eagles doing wrong? Because this Lions chemistry is out of the room. And I say this word a lot, chemistry, a lot. But it's true. This Lions team has so many great connections. Jared Goff loves being with this team. He really does. He looked good in LA. He did. Got him to the Super Bowl. Didn't win a Super Bowl, but got him to the Super Bowl. But he went to the Lions. And I just think Jared Goff has just stepped up way more since. This is Colts team. They're 5-6. They saw Anthony Richardson play again a little bit last week in their game against the Jets, won 28-27. Anthony Richardson still has problems. He went 20 for 30, 270, and a touchdown. No interceptions last week. But he's struggling. And I hate to see it, because I'm an Anthony Richardson believer. I really am. I love how this guy plays his game. I love quarterbacks who are dual threats, who know how to throw the ball and also run. He's got to figure it out still a bit. The completion, this was arguably his best game last week, which is good. He's starting to get up there. Saw Joe Flacco play a bit, and now he's back up to his game. But you know who's somebody on this Colts team that has not stepped up this year? That might be the most underrated talk about that has just not stepped up? Jonathan Taylor. What has he done this year? 150 attempts, 673 yards, and 5 touchdowns. It's Jonathan Taylor. See, you ever notice, to win a Super Bowl, you need a good running back. Last year, Chiefs had Isaiah Pacheco. When the Bucs won, they had, who did they have? I think it was Leonard Fournette, if I'm not mistaken. He was a pretty good running back. When the Rams won, they had a good running back. I feel like every team, you need a solid a pretty good running back. And I'm not saying the Colts are Super Bowl contenders. It's just a statement. Because a good running back gets you to that next level. The Colts are close to that next level. They are. I think Anthony Richardson can lead this team to great things. I think Michael Pittman can do stuff. He hasn't looked the best this year. I think they have a pretty good defense. We're going to come back to this. And I want you to listen to me say this right here, right now. The Indianapolis Colts are going to win the AFC South, and no one is going to expect it. Remember that, all right? It's November 24th, 11:24 a.m. The Indianapolis Colts are going to win the AFC South. Because they are super close from becoming this elite team. They really are, in my eyes. But hey, we'll see. They're 5-6 right now. You look at the standings, they're 2 games back. It's not over. You watch. The Indianapolis Colts will win the AFC South. Let's move on now. We have Patriots taking on the Dolphins today at 1 o'clock on CBS. The Dolphins are a 7-point favorite in this one. This is the game at the 1 o'clock hour. Because every week there's like there's that game at 1 o'clock where you just go, do we really need to show this game on Red Zone? And this is the game today. 3-8 Dolphins. 4-6 Dolphins, 3-8 Patriots. Two teams that, let's be honest, are not going to be playoffs. The Dolphins are going to be on a short week. They're going to play the Packers on Thanksgiving night, which is the best game on Thanksgiving by far, sadly. I just see this game being a snooze fest today. I do. And it's not, necessarily on one side of the ball. I just think we're going to see a lower scoring type game today. The Patriots, they're 3-8. I'll give them the respect. They've got some wins. The Dolphins are 4-6. They're starting to go in the right direction. But this Dolphins team's not the same as they were. They really aren't. Since they started that downfall last year, they have not been the same. This Dolphins team a year ago was scoring 30-plus a game. They're struggling to score these days. So, I don't know. What's the issue? Tyreek Hill, Tua? It's something on the offense. The defense looks pretty solid. I don't know. Let's move on. 1 o'clock today, Bucks taking on the Giants here on CBS. 4-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking to beat this Giants team today, who will have Tommy DeVito starting at quarterback. Let's go ahead and give Tommy DeVito a round of applause. Finally getting the start at quarterback today. Daniel Jones being cut. So the Bucks, they're coming off a bye, and they have not won a game since October 13th, when they beat the Saints 51-27. That was week 6. So what's been the issue? And I think I know the issue, and no one is going to believe me on this, but it's Chris Godwin. The absence of Chris Godwin is what has caused this team to not play at their fullest potential, in my eyes. And let me explain. The Bucks, to start the year, 37 to 20 W. 2016 W. And they lost the Broncos. I don't even know what the heck happened there. 33 to 16 versus the Eagles. Lost by 6 in overtime to the Falcons, 36 to 30. Put up 51 against the Saints. Put up 31 against the Ravens. He played a bit of that game and he got hurt. And he's been out of the year since. Since Chris Godwin's been hurt, they've lost 3 straight. And I think it's Baker Mayfield knows that he doesn't have that main guy. Now, do I think they're going to lose the Giants? No, the Giants suck. But they're going to need, if they want to get a playoff spot, they're going to have to rely on other guys instead of Chris Godwin. Because, you have Mike Evans. He's a good player. He's out right now, but he's a good player. He knows how to, what to do. I would watch out for for this Bucs team still. Because the second Baker Mayfield finds a guy that he needs, he can find that extra guy. Is it Cade Otton? Is it Mike Evans more? Who is it? Is it going to be more? They're starting to go to White a lot more. Rashard White. Bucky Irving, whoever you start to go to a bit more can really start to bring this Bucs team up. Because they have a great offense. But they're just struggling also a bit on the defense side of the ball, but that's just kind of, whatever. Let's move on. 1 o'clock today, Cowboys and the Commanders. Who would have thought the Cowboys were 3-7 going to take on the 7-4 Washington Commanders today? At the beginning of the year, I guarantee if someone heard that the Cowboys were 3-7, the Commanders were 7-4, they would probably laugh at you. I've been flaming this Cowboys team for a while. I said it on Monday night. Jerry Jones is a terrible owner. Mike McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing as head coach. The Cowboys pretty much have waved the white flag this year. Could Dak Prescott maybe be playing right now if they were in contention? Sure, he could. But he's not because they're 3-7. They're not going to make the playoffs. The Cowboys' chances of making the playoffs, percentage-wise, according to CBS Sports, is less than 1. The exact same odds that the Carolina Panthers have. Because this Cowboys team is the laughingstock of the NFL. Let's be honest. If you're not a Cowboys fan, you're loving this Cowboys team being 3-7 right now. This Commanders team 7-4. They look pretty good. They've lost back-to-back, sure. They have a little mini bye since they lost to the Eagles. I like where this Commanders team's at, though. They still are a threat to the Eagles. I think that December 22nd game might come down to the division. However, because the Eagles still have some hard games, and we're talking here a bit about the NFC East. The Commanders have the Cowboys, Titans, a bye, Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys. Their hardest game left is the Philadelphia Eagles. Besides that is, I would say, the Atlanta Falcons. There's a chance they could still win this division. And they're what, a game and a half back right now? Yeah, game and a half back. In my eyes, they're still not going to win the division. I still think Philly still has it. But they're there. They're right behind them. They're going to be a great wild card team this year. Let's move in now to the 4 o'clock window today. We got 3 games in the 4 o'clock window. Broncos versus Raiders will start off here at 4 o'clock on CBS. This is one of those games as well in the 4 o'clock window. There's usually like 1 or 2 great 4 o'clock games, and there's just like that random game that's off to the side. This is that one as well. A AFC West battle today. The Broncos, 6-5 on the year. They've looked pretty good. They're coming off of a dominating win over the Falcons last weekend. The Raiders sitting in at 2-8. They have a short week. They're going to have to play on Black Friday against the Chiefs. This Raiders team sucks, man. They suck. They're 2-8. If I'm the Raiders, I'm starting to just wave the white flag, really. Ben, go tank for the number 1 overall pick. Get Shedeur Sanders out of the, in the NFL draft and move on. They need a quarterback. They traded away Devontae. The best guy on their team is Brock Bowers. And if the Raiders continue to play like this for the next few years, you know dang well Brock Bowers wants to leave. He's a great player. He's a great tight end. The Raiders need to figure it out ASAP. The Broncos, Look at this team go. They look amazing. They're 6-5. They're in the AFC playoff if the season ended today. They're having a great year. I'm proud of them. Bo Nix playing out of the roof the past few weeks. The defense looks amazing. The offense looks amazing. Everything about this Broncos team looks amazing. Let's move in now to the 4:25 window, I guess you could say. We have the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Some injuries on this one here. The 49ers are without both Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa today. They're going to be relying a lot on, I guess, their offensive players. I guess really CMC. So the question becomes, are the Niners starting to give up? Because I was watching ESPN's NFL Live this week. I'm pretty sure that's what it was on. It was something on ESPN. And it got to the point of, do the 49ers just think about waving the white flag, calling it a day? You have Brandon Allen starting at quarterback today for this 49ers team. That's rough, dude. That is rough. And do I think the Niners have a chance to do something this year? Sure I do. They're 5-5. The injuries have just killed them. They're a great team. I'll say it. Because even though the Eagles and the 49ers have a huge rivalry with each other really now, it's starting to become that thing. They have a great roster still. And you have to respect that. But the best thing that the Niners can do right now in my eyes, and I think they should do, is start to just lose games. Tank a bit. Kind of wave the white flag and bring them started up next year. The Packers are 7-3. You know damn well the Packers are going to win today. And then, not to mention, the Niners have to go to Buffalo next weekend. And then they're going to play the Lions on December 30th, on the final Monday night game of the year. It's going to be rough, and it sucks to see, but this 49ers team is about to be 5-7, and then that's going to start to see the push. And the final 4 o'clock game today here, this might be the best 4 o'clock game, believe it or not. We have the Cardinals and the Seahawks today. The 6-4 Cardinals taking on the 5-5 Seattle Seahawks. A game that I do not think people thought was where both teams were going to be. Seattle was 3-0. The Cardinals were 1-2 at the time. And it was looking like Seattle was going to start to run away with this division. They win today, they might really start to make a push for the NFC West. Now, I think they will. I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm not sure. I'm really not. We'll see what ends up happening with these two teams today. It's going to be a great game, though. I think it's a very high scoring. I think it'll be a really fun game. You can see this Seattle offense going against this Cardinals offense, too. And it should be great. And finally, Sunday night football tonight here. We have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. 8:20 tonight here. The Eagles 8-2 on the year on a 6-game winning streak against the 5-5 Rams, who are 4-1 in their last 5 games. So, this is a great Sunday night game tonight. The Eagles, just one small injury. No Devontae Smith for them tonight. They'll be out with no Devontae. So, does that affect the Eagles? Definitely a bit. But not a crazy amount in my eyes. I love saying that and chemistry. Anyways, the Eagles still have so many great guys. And this Rams passing defense is terrible. I expect A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts to have a night. Because we saw it last year in Week 5 when these two teams met. A.J. and Jalen connected so many times. And I expect that tonight. I think this Eagles team is going to be all over this Rams team today. I think they match up amazing with this Rams team. And I think they're going to they might dominate this game. Which I'll get my picks in just a second here. And we'll see. So actually, yeah, let's move into my picks now. My Week 12 NFL predictions. We are 0-1 right now. We picked, on the week, we picked the Steelers over the Browns. It happens, but it is what it is. So, Chiefs versus Panthers today. I'm going with the Chiefs. It's easy. I'm not going to, over, dramatic it. I've got the Vikings over the Bears. Just plain and simple. Also, by the way, guys, you can find all my picks. I drop these on usually Wednesday. Football Talks 4133 on Instagram. You'll find these picks there. I've got the Texans over the Titans. Like I said, Texans by 4 scores. There you go. Texans by 4 scores. This Titans team's terrible. This Texans team's great. Simple as that. Lions over the Colts. Dolphins over the Patriots. Bucks over the Giants. Commanders over the Cowboys. Broncos over the Raiders. Packers over the Niners, Cardinals over the Seahawks, and the Eagles over the Rams. I know it's kind of boring on my picks this week. I'll be honest. It's kind of boring. A lot of favorites being picked this week. But it's just who I think is going to win. So that will wrap up the Sunday Sports Talks 4133 YouTube channel video here. We have a great day of NFL. Enjoy it. And yeah, see ya.